Okay, so you're eventually going to get into SAS, okay? And what I want you guys to do is the following. So the first thing that you need to do is you're going to, in SAS, so each one of you, there's two groups. I'm not too sure, Jason, how much you're familiar with. Have you had a class with SAS, Jason?
No, never.
Okay, and you're an analytics major.
No, finance.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So Corbena is the analytics major.
Yes.
Have you had access to SAS before?
Yep, I had your class last semester.
Okay, that's good. So it's not so unfamiliar. That's why you're in groups. And the thing is that in groups, I get it. Somebody's going to be, one person is going to be doing the clicking and the dragging, but it's really important that you all are, even if it's virtually, as we're doing right now, huddling together and taking a look at, okay, how are we going to do this? What needs to get done? How are we going to interpret this? Okay, that's the idea. So I have a library already created that's called ITKM 516. If I want to understand how to create a library, all I'm going to do is click on New Library, and I'm going to, I'm going to call this one Test Lib. Okay. Main thing is no spaces. Second thing you need to do, you choose a path, but don't choose it. Okay. What I'm saying is that you hit Browse. Don't choose anything. Just whatever is default there highlighted, that's what you take. You click OK. Third thing that many people leave out is this, to checkbox this. Recreate this library at startup. You click OK. Go to my libraries, and in alphabetical order, here it is. It's called TestLib. Okay? I'm actually going to delete this one. And again, you can watch the video over and over and how to create your library. Okay? Now, the other thing that we need to do to start working with this data, and same thing with your assignment, is that you're going to want to get your data in there. So for that, I strongly suggest that you go and highlight your SAS user, okay? You see, if I have nothing highlighted or something invalid highlighted, the upload is this arrow over here. It's grayed out. As soon as I hit SAS user.v94, it's fine, okay? Now I have this option available to me. I'm gonna hit upload. Now, I recently downloaded, created that CSV file, and the file is in Bridgeport, Spring, data, and we call it empty cars. I'm gonna choose this file, okay? And I hit upload. And here it is, empty cars. I can't use it yet because it's a .csv, comma separated values. I double click on this, okay? And it's gonna give me all these things to start to be able to import the data. I am going to go to settings over here.
Professor.
Yes.
Just real quick, are you going to share this this file with us?
This what?
This file, the data set that you're importing.
I am going to share everything with you. When do I not share? Wrongly accused here. I'm a sharing guy. I believe I am not a firm believer in ownership, sort of.
We're gonna do this right now, or like later on, and we just should just go over the video.
Well, when I finish the class, I'll start sending you guys in these videos, because I don't have access to your Canvas. I am going to split them out in 15-minute increments and upload it onto Zoom. Onto YouTube. And then I'm going to send you the links on YouTube where to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So the main thing is here. This is kind of what you saw when we double-clicked on empty cars. So I'm going to go to settings. And this is the only thing I'm going to change, where it says output data. I'm going to change this because I'm going to say, I have my little folder that says ITKM 560. So So I'm going to click on that. As you see, library is pre-filled in gray, ITKM 560. And I'm going to call this empty cars because it had some default name there. I'm going to hit save. As you see, now it's saying file name, empty cars. Here it says, dataset name, empty cars, library, destination, ITKM 560. I hit my running man. I should have done. If I go here to code results, blah, blah, blah. But the main thing, if you want to know if it actually happened, you scroll down to your libraries. I put it in here in ITKM 560. This is my library. You guys do not, you guys create your own library, you'll have access to your own library. Here it is, empty cars. I double click on this. It's right here. Okay, all the same data that I have. It's right here. I have 32 observations. I have all my variables. Now let's go into how do we do a correlation. I told you that SAS you will not need to code. I may have lied just a little bit, but not too much. Anyway, you guys will see why. So next step, to be able to do correlations, you're going to go to task and utilities. Okay, I can actually close this. Don't save. I can close the data set. It still exists. So in task and utilities, you're going to go to tasks. You open this up. There are statistics. Voila. Correlation analysis. Double click here. Okay. As I double click here, I have some data already selected called cheater. I'm not going to use that data. I'm going to go and I'm going to choose another data set. So I'm going to click on this icon here. And here's my library, ITKM 560, empty cars, click OK. And here's my empty car selected. And it's asking for analysis variables. So we did miles per gallon, and we did horsepower. Okay? I can see miles per gallon and horsepower. Now I'm going to hit my little running man. Okay, voila. So in SAS, there's a lot of stuff that it's going to give you, okay, or not. Here we have a correlation. These are our results. If I click this, it gives me all my results. But here I have the sign and the magnitude, okay? Let's go back to R. When we ran this in R, miles per gallon and horsepower, we got a correlation of negative 0.78. If we round this up, it's going to be negative 0.78. So same result. But wait a second. In R, we also got a p-value. Where's my p-value? So let's go back to SAS Studio and see, well, where can I get a p-value? Because I don't know if this is significant or not. So I'm going to go here, take a look. Let us, I think it's not set up correctly, so I'm just going to take analysis variables, MPG, correlate with horsepower. So you put them separately, analysis variables, MPG, correlate with horsepower. You hit the running man. Ah, now it's different. Now we get some different results. If I expand these results, I get horsepower, and it just gives us the correlation. However, none of these yet tell us what the p-value is. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to options. And it says statistics, display statistics. And I can go selected statistics. And it's going to display p-values. Oh, nice. Okay. So let's run this again. Oh, here we go. So now I have everything that I need. Miles per gallon, horsepower. I have my correlation. And my p-value, it's not going to be exactly, it's not saying the same number as R, because here it's saying it's less than 0.0001. Okay. Here I have my p-value. So again, the main thing that I did here was that in selected statistics, in display statistics, the default statistics are just basically telling you the correlation, no p-value. But when we say selected statistics, it suddenly has checked off the p-values. Another good thing here is that you can select your plot. So individual scatter plots. I hit run. I can take a look at my results here, and I have a little scatter plot, okay? And it's giving me 32 observations, the correlation, and the p-value. It's a nice little plot that SAS produces. But in the end, it's producing the same exact value, okay? And the same p-value for all intent and purposes, okay? And let's go back to R for a second. So look at our correlation matrix that we created, okay? And look at horsepower and gear. So I'm going to look up horsepower, right this line, and look at gear right over here. You see that there's a very faint dot. Let me zoom in here. So gear and what was it? And horsepower right over here. So horsepower and the number of gears don't seem to be very well correlated. Well, we can test that by running our correlation again. So this correlation matrix gives us areas that we might want to investigate. So here I'm going to run my correlation, and here are my results. The p-value is 0.5. If my alpha, my cutoff point, is 0.05, this is above 0.05. Therefore, I'm going to retain the null hypothesis, and meaning that there's a 50%, this p-value is saying there's a 50% probability that this correlation number is just due to random chance, and that's too much for me. So it's too much for me because I have chosen my alpha, my cutoff point, to be 0.05. Therefore, the only thing I have to say is that the relationship between horsepower and gear is not significant. I do not need to talk about the magnitude or the sign. I'm just saying it's not significant. If I want to put this in layman terms, I say this: the amount of horsepower and the number of gears have nothing to do with each other. That's it. So let's revert back to SAS. Let's do this in SAS. Okay, I can go back to my split. Okay, so go back here to data, and I am going to dump miles per gallon. But I'm going to add, I believe it was horsepower and gear. I'm just going to put gear here. Miles per gallon, I am going to dump that one. So I have gear and horsepower. Let's run that correlation. And again, the p-value that it's giving us is 0.4930. In R, 0.5, rounded. The correlation is negative 0.13, but it's not significant, so we really don't care. But here it is. If we round this number, it'll be negative 0.13, okay, if we rounded it. This is just to illustrate to all of you that it doesn't matter what software you use. The results, if the software is valid, meaning that it does the calculations as it's supposed to do it, it will give you the results that you need to get, the correct results, okay? Let's take a look at what does the assignment for correlations look like. So allow me to go to my folder for the assignments. So we are in fall 2019, 560 assignments. Let's go to this one, the correlations. So correlations. I am asking you to run and interpret correlations between the following variables using some data set that I will provide. Be sure to present the results, interpret the results in a statistical manner, in layman terms, and a scatter plot. Okay? So we did this already. In both SAS and R, we created scatter plots. Well, R does it, you know, you have to code it, but in SAS, you can just, it just produces it for you. We even interpreted the results, meaning that is the p-value significant or not? If it's not significant, you say the relationship is not significant and you're done with it. If you find it significant, you report it's significant, the magnitude, and the sign. And then in layman terms, what does this mean? How do you interpret this? And then you're going to put in your scatter plot. The correlations are between these variables: satisfaction level, last evaluation; satisfaction level, time spent on company; average monthly hours, number of projects; last evaluation, and number of projects. Extra credit is doing satisfaction with salary. That will require some manipulation of the data. You will see the data when you see it, okay? And I am asking you to do the deliverable in R Markdown. If you're doing the assignment in SAS, trust me, I will know because, again, I will see the SAS tables. You don't have to do it in R Markdown, okay? If you know how to use R Markdown, use it. If you don't, that's fine. To give you an idea is that, okay, so how did you get the results from SAS? Well, again, I clicked right over here and I get this. If you're using a Windows, it's Control. If it's using a Mac, it's Command. Command A selects everything. Control or Command C copies. You go into any software that you'd like to use for Word or Pages. Submit it in Word or PDF, it doesn't matter. Okay, I have a new blank document. I do Control V, and here are my results. So what I'm asking you to do is that you state these results, but be nice about it in the sense that you're going to put your team members' names. Okay, so team names. You're going to put something like ITKM 560 correlations. Okay, and then you're going to say, the title of this correlation would be correlation between horsepower and gear. Okay, so let's make this a heading number 2. Let's make this a title. All nice. Okay, and then you will report the following, saying that there is no relationship between HP and gear. In layman terms, horsepower has nothing to do with the amount of gears a car has. There you go. So questions, guys?
So far, so good.
Okay.
Yeah, no questions.
So